And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Always a brand new day of shows. Excited to be here and, of course, featuring Nashville's best and brightest talent. We've got a good one coming up toward 5 o'clock today as Nashville recording artist Bryce Leatherwood will join us here, too. But first up, she's batting leadoff today, too. You'll do two shows in a day, but today we had to as we're out there, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and, of course, HighTideCountry.net, always at the Sports Guys podcast.com, live on the website and the YouTube channel. Presented by Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over at the Caden Gordon Show. Critically acclaimed songwriter. She's got a new single out called Touchstone. It's beautiful. I love it. It's got some great lyrics. Mary McGuinness to the program. Mary, how you doing?
I'm good, Brandon. How are you?
It's good. It's so midweek tomorrow, so we're almost over the hump, and we're getting to Friday, which is going to be another long weekend for me, and I'm sure some more honeydew projects out there, too, at the same time. But, you know, we're here. Live radio, we love it too. It's great to connect with you too. Well, let's talk about this because it's a whole body of work here. You're not new to the scene, like I said, critically acclaimed singer songwriter. You've been around this thing for a long time. But talk about Shadow Catcher and the upcoming album, which a lot of people are ready for too. I know it was supposed to come out toward the end of last year. At least I know a couple of different platforms. Apple Music was. I thought I saw a date where they were trying to release it out there, or they may have the wrong date on it.
No, I think it was the what they started doing was putting my cover on the singles. So I released my single end of September, Once in a Blue Moon, because I actually contacted I was like, my record's not coming out till January 26th. And said Apple, like, there's a whole different process. They put the cover on. They're all doing different.
It was
things.
Okay. Well, look at early 2024. Can we say that? Fair enough. Right now, it's coming out here early 2024.
Right. Yeah.
Let's talk about this collection, this body of work, these songs, and of course, how excited you are to get this music into the fans, into their hands.
I am. I'm super excited. You know, I basically moved to Nashville a year and a half ago from Santa Monica, and I felt like called to come to Nashville. I literally had been coming here to write like once a month. And I sat up in bed one morning. I said, I need to move to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And 2 months later was here and basically wrote, recorded, and now releasing this record. So I definitely was very inspired in Nashville. I've met so many great musicians and just people are so nice here. Mm-hmm. And we just had like this whole snow here. So like my daughter we used to have to travel to see snow. She actually got like 6 days of sledding in a row. And I was like, this is all worth it. This is amazing. So anyway.
No, I love that too. But talk about growing up and just around music and maybe some of those artists that were influences to you as well. And just what it was like to have that connection from a young age.
Well, you know, I grew up with my grandparents, but my aunt really loved the Beatles. And so I think from an early age, I was listening to a lot of vinyl and Beatles records that definitely like soaked into my consciousness, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then I sang in my church choir growing up. And so I really loved a lot of that music. And I don't know, I love all kinds of music. So I was born in Texas at Fort Hood. My dad was a Green Beret. And I just, I've always loved, especially like classic country. Like I love, everyone from Chris Christopherson to, there's just so many great writers and singers. Tammy Wynette, I did a Tammy Wynette cover. It's just a lot of different great music. If great music is great music and it's influenced me and anyway, like a little bit of everything.
That's a good thing. A little smorgasbord of everything too. Well, I know you got this great single Touchstone out there right now across all the platforms. Do you want to play a little something for us right now here on the show? Perform a song and the beauty of doing this program. Let's do that.
Here. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it is all yours. And I'm guessing Touchstone would be up first.
Yes. I'm going to play Touchstone on here.
Here it is.
All right. Make sure I'm in tune. And yeah, my mic. But take me to the touchstone, and I'll rest my head. World gets so heavy, gonna let it all go. come this far, to only come this far, even when I'm in this, even when life is less than what I thought it would be, things are not all they seem, and I still believe. Take me to the touchstone, where I'll rest my head. World gets so heavy, gonna let it all go. All of the highs, all these lows, take me to the touchstone, where I feel like home. Take me to the touchstone, where I feel like home. Take me to the touchstone, where I feel like home.
I love it. Touchstone from the beautiful and talented Mary McGuinness here on the Backstage Pass, again presented by friends over at Banktail Whiskey and, of course, the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix up there in Boston, Massachusetts. Touchstone off the forthcoming album Shadow Catcher, coming out here too in early 2024. We got to take a break. We got hopefully another performance from Mary coming up here on the show too as well, and we'll take that time out and do it here on KKTC True Country 99.9. And, of course, out there, hightidecountry.net coming back in a flash. Stay tuned.
The Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix, is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show, Mary McGuinness joining us here on the Backstage Pass, forthcoming album Shadow Catcher, coming up here early part of 2024. Appreciate her being with us today. Thanks for all the work that our sponsors do. Let's talk about that song, get a little story behind it too, because I'm always interested to learn where the writing comes from, and of course the lyrics, and if it was a personal side of things when it comes to a song. Tell us all about Touchstone and how it just came to life.
Well, basically, I wrote this song with Holly Hamill, and it was a lot of fun. I wrote it. It was one of the first songs I wrote when I came to Nashville. I think I was basically trying to ground myself, and I was feeling like I was really trying to find my feet. And I just kept coming to, what's my purpose here? Why am I here? And it's music, music. And so that's really what kept me going. And I just thought of Touchstone. I was like, I just need to keep coming back to this to keep myself centered, So that's where that song came from. Came out very easy. Those lyrics were just like talking,
Let's talk about the female movement. At least I consider it one for country music now. So many great female artists, doing so well in country music. And I can't recall a time, maybe that 90s country flair that kind of went through there with so many great artists in that category with the men at the same time. Talk about this and how impressed you are, one. And then two, this is probably as strong as it's ever been, right?
I agree. I really see and I see it. And it's also a lot of different type of singers too. You have Lainey Wilson, and then you have, someone like Brandi Carlile, and then you have Meg Maroney. Everyone's very different. They're kind of doing different takes, and yet it seems to be very authentic. It's kind of like the 90s or like with Faith Hill and Shania Twain, you had Leanne Watt. Like there's just so many great singers. Yeah, I see that. It's really inspiring, actually.
I actually got the chance to check out one of your albums you put out 2020. It was Prodigal, and I really enjoyed listening to a lot of great music on there too, especially the song Farewell. Talk about just, I guess, that project of putting out a great selection of songs, which I listened to the whole thing. So every song really just touched me in a very, very just unique way because they told a lot of great stories. Butterfly was very unique too. And that's something I hadn't heard in a while too. Just really great album, one, and two, the evolution, how one album affects another, and of course song choice and things like that. Sometimes I know it's easy to pick songs for an EP or a record, and sometimes it's very difficult to fill up an album.
Well, the difference between this record, which I wrote, there's 10 songs on the record, and I probably wrote about 16. For that record, I wrote that record, and then there are some covers on it as well. But I wrote that in a couple of weeks. Like I was really inspired, and I recorded it in 5 days. It was weird. It was just like I hadn't made a record for a long time, and it just seemed to be very inspired. And that song Butterfly, I think if as a writer or a singer, if you don't get it out for a while, then all of a sudden it just kind of pours out into one one record. And that song Butterfly, yeah, I wrote for my daughter. So, and Farewell, I wrote for my friend who had died unexpectedly in a motorcycle accident.
Wow.
So it was, I think also you have to have some of these life experiences to write about. I wouldn't have been able to write this record 10 years before that.
We're seeing more and more co-writes go on now too in Nashville. At least I hear those things. And of course, a lot of, people stepping up, collaboration, how important that is in the industry too at the same time. Talk about that for me, kind of shed some light on maybe for the younger artists today that love to write their own stuff, but sometimes want to kind of brainstorm a little bit with somebody who's had years experience of doing this. I guess one, how important collaboration is, and then two, co-writes are getting bigger every day.
Yeah, I think, like that record I wrote by myself, but I would say it can be very isolating as a singer-songwriter to, you know what, let me move a little closer. I thought I was going to play piano. Now I feel so far away. Wait, let me see. I'm moving closer here. Okay. Oh, that's better. Okay. I feel like it's always great to write with co-writers. I enjoy it a lot more actually. I mean, I love to write by myself, but it's like all about the hang and the collaboration and the vibe you get with other people. And songwriters are just the coolest people. They're like the bass players in the band. Like I just find they're always so fun and great. And that being said, I know like you'll see sometimes songs and they've got like 12 co-writers now. It's kind of crazy, I guess everyone's getting a credit, but I don't know. I really love writing with other people. And I look forward to, that's one of the reasons I came to Nashville. And I was lucky to really write with some great co-writers on this record.
No doubt. It's a great town, and just feel great songwriters are getting better and better every day too. And there's some Hall of Fame songwriters out there too, and people that have been doing it for a long time. And of course, up and comers to look out for too, no doubt here. Well, I know you got one more performance for us, no doubt. What are we going to hear for one more song?
This is the title track to the record, Shadow Catcher.
All right. We'll do that too as well. We'll do that. Tell you what, how about we take a break? Let you get ready behind there too. We'll take time out too for our sponsors. We'll do that. Come back. Mary McGuinness and Shadow Catcher off the upcoming album. Shadow Catcher here due out early part of 2024. Coming back here, KKTC True Country 99.9, New Mexico, Colorado, and of course out there always hightidecountry.net and the Sports Guys podcast.com. Coming back. Stay tuned.
The Kane & Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at theCadenGordonShow.com. Again, that is theCadenGordonShow.com.
The Bangtail Pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here, too, as well, Mary McGuinness on the Backstage Pass. Of course, every night, weeknights, 10 Mountain Time out there, KKTC, and via the LMNOC broadcast app with the 6 stations that we get the chance to syndicate on. 7 nights a week. Always great guests out there, too. If you miss anything, the SportsGuysPodcast.com and also KKTC 99.9. Tomorrow, we'll do the call-in tomorrow morning with Shelly G in the morning, too, talking about some great music coming up. And country radio seminar just a few weeks out from being there in Nashville, Tennessee, too, as well. Got some surprises in the works, so be on the lookout for that, too, here from all of us at the Backstage Pass, Nashville, Tennessee, February 28th to March 2nd for Country Radio Seminar 2024. Mary, it's all yours. Take it away. It's Shadow Catcher from the upcoming album titled Shadow Catcher.
All right. You keep trying to get your head on right. Slips through your fingers when you hold too tight. Saving shadows scattered in the night, coming through, finding you. You're a shadow catcher, reaching for the summer sun. It doesn't matter where far you run. It's a lonely kind of living, catching shadows as they fall. Don't you know the darkness always comes before the dawn? You were someone else a long time ago. Saw the world in shades of indigo. Knowing to what the sky will show. Here with me, wait and see. You're a shadow catcher, reaching for the summer sun. Doesn't matter whether far you run. It's a lonely kind of living, catching shadows as they fall. Don't you know the darkness always comes? Don't you know the darkness always comes? And so does the dark.
She is telling stories with the best of them out there, too, with this upcoming album, Shadow Catcher. Mary McGuinness here on the Backstage Pass. A great performance there, too, no doubt. And love this record. I cannot wait. The 2 songs are out there right now, too, to check out, which is Double Vision and, of course, out there, too. We talked about Touchstone and a whole lot more. Is there a date for this record yet? I keep saying early 2024.
Is it Friday?
This Friday. All right, January 26th. How about that?
It's like we're in a time warp. I'm like, wait, what day?
Yes, I'm ready for it. January 26th. All right, Shadowcatcher comes out this week from Mary McGuinness. Give her a like on socials out there too as well, and go follow the record and download and stream, especially our great folks out there, KKTC True Country 99.9. They're always up to learn about a new artist, and that's what we do here on the Backstage Pass. Love that too as well. You know, we talked about the movement now with the female movement here, but I wanted to ask you, when not doing music, and I guess in a movement it is, what are some of your favorite hobbies to enjoy when you're not doing music?
Well, actually, there's one right behind me. It's macrame. I made this. Wait, let's see if you can see it.
All right.
It's some people are like, what's macrame? I guess they used to teach it in the 70s, but I saw it and I started just I was lucky to find a girl in Portland, and I studied with her, and then I taught a lot of it to myself, but it was hard because a lot of the books are like from the 70s, kind of crazy. But I would say this: I love hiking. I do like cooking. I'm not like the best cook. I'm a better baker, I think. But I do love being in the kitchen. I find it really relaxing. And yeah, I like being in nature, and I also love my dog, and did a lot of stuff with animal rescue, and we're about to start looking for another dog. So I have my hands full.
Favorite dish to cook? What do you like to cook or bake in the kitchen?
I actually make a great chili.
Oh,
really great chili, and with honey cornbread muffins.
Really? Okay. All right. So I'm going to give that a taste test one of these days. And homemade. I'm sure it's homemade all the way too.
It's that Betty Crocker recipe, but then I made a bunch of changes. So instead of a couple of teaspoons of chili powder, it's like 4 tablespoons. And I added coriander, all that stuff. Anyway, I'm happy to share it with you.
I love that. We'll try that sometime. Hey, back to the Prodigal record. Share the story with the listeners out there. Please don't tell me how the story ends. I love this song. First of all, this was like really eye-opener for me too, and what you did instrumentation-wise, and of course lyrically on this record, and specifically
that was written by Christopherson. That's a cover.
Really? That was a cover. Okay, I did not recognize it offhand. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, just a beautiful song.
Okay, because I just did it. Usually it's a duet, and when he did it with his wife.
And I can't think of her name.
Rita Coolidge.
Rita Coolidge, yes.
It's on a record. So it's usually done as a duet, and I just did it with Ian and different. But thank you. I mean, but it's such an incredible song. So.
Well, I liked your spin on it too as well. For the cover, and I'd forgotten that was Chris Christopherson too. There was another one off of there, "Washing of the Water," and I loved just the rendition that you put out there too at the same time, because you really put a great spin on that song too.
Thank you so much.
Tell us all about that one too, the arrangement and kind of how it went to. Now, was that a cover as well? "Washing of the Water"?
That's a few covers, yeah.
Okay.
Please Don't Tell Me How Story Ends and "Washing of the Water," which is Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
And then I also I shot the video for that. It was COVID, and it was the first video I shot. We took an RV up the coast in California, and of course I released this record in May of 2020.
Chaos, yeah.
And I was like, oh great, my first, and I'm gonna release on COVID. So there wasn't a lot that I could do except do shows from home, but also I shot the video, and it was so fun. We were up all through the mountains, and I just thought it really suited the music.
You know, and I always say, people, you talk about this too. Nashville's, they say, a 10-year town. I keep hearing that expression over and over again, but it's hard to get your name out there, to be recognized as an artist. Give me some of the challenges that you go through as an artist, because a lot of people may see kind of the bells and whistles and things that kind of go on in front of the camera, but a lot of people don't see what goes on behind the camera too. But there are a lot of challenges for being an artist. Give me some of those and kind of tell some of the things people don't see behind the scenes.
I think this is probably maybe the most difficult era of being an artist. I think because not only are you now writing, you're performing, or you're promoting and trying to get shows if you don't have a book, but you're also spending an inordinate amount of time on social media trying to create content, posting, doing content. I directed my videos so far for this record. It's just like, it's a lot. It's an incredible amount of just work in general, but I think we also have a tool that wouldn't have been available 20 years ago, that artists can really promote themselves and be heard by people they wouldn't normally be heard of. So there's always the pros and cons, and I think you just go with the flow, like, okay, this is what is needed, I'm just going to do it. I think it kind of is like, you need to change and give as much as you can without like giving away your heart and soul. Do the very best you can to get your music out there. And I just been working my butt off since I moved to Nashville, for sure. So got a record and do this, and it's just But I'm really grateful for everything.
Your voice is like butter. I love it. It's smooth. It's just good. I love this record. Can't wait for it to come out this week, Friday. Shadowcatcher, January 26th. Hey, for a little fun, I like to do a little rapid fire, so I love doing this. So if you remember this, give me the first song you ever sang live in front of a microphone, and it could be a cover. What was that song?
The Rose. Okay,
all right. I like that. Favorite toppings on a Mary McGuinness pizza? What goes on a pizza?
Always pepperoni. Well done.
Well, a lot of people say they're simple and they do pepperoni. Favorite movies of all time?
The Godfather, Pretty Woman, Sound of Music. I love all the Will Ferrell movies. Like if I'm sad or anything, I will just watch like Talladega Nights. I'm like, I always
anything to have fun with too.
Right. A lot of movies I like.
If Mary was not a musician, what other occupation would she have?
Probably work with animals.
All right, I see that. I like that too as well. See, rapid fire is always easy. People sometimes say it's hard, but it's out there too, and I love it too as well because you got so many different irons in the fire. This album again, Shadowcatcher, comes out this Friday, January 26th. Be sure and download and across all those digital platforms and stream the music out there. Hey, I appreciate you coming by too. Hope to see you there in Nashville at the Country Radio Seminar. If we're there to do that, that last weekend in February. Thanks so much for being on. Hope you enjoyed our chat, and best of luck with the release of the album.
Thank you, Brandon.
You got it. We're not done today. Bryce Leatherwood coming up here in a little bit on the show. We'll talk about his song, The Finger, out there across all the digital platforms. Great country hit, doing well at radio, and then a whole lot more as we preface the rest of the week here on the Backstage Pass. Thanks to our sponsors. We'll see you guys back in a flash. Have a great